In squadrons passed me by. No pipe did hum, no battle drum did sound. But the young just passed, or the leafy swirl rang out in the foggy
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tone Zone presented by Aces Axes. I am your host, Kevin Rankdog Rankins. Today, we are at our new home. Hopefully for every week, we can get one of these out to you at the legendary and amazing Funk N Waffles in downtown Syracuse, New York. And for tonight, we have the Tan and Sober Gentlemen, an amazing band out of North Carolina who stopped by on a Tuesday night on their way to Ireland. That's right, folks. This is an international band that stopped by here at Funk N Waffles, and we want to thank them so much for coming out on a Tuesday night and rocking the house. Everyone left with smiles, and that's what music is supposed to do. Thank you guys so much. In true rock and roll form, sometimes mistakes do happen. The audio was compromised on this interview, so we're going to sit back, relax, grab a drink, grab your favorite pipe, and we're going to listen to me tell a story about hanging out with a group of 6 new friends that I met that night. They're the Tan and Sober Gentlemen. Alright, and first, I hung out and talked with Mr. Tucker Galloway, who is the lead vocalist and banjo player. His electric banjo is made by the Capozzoli Guitar Company, which is out of Sugar Grove, North Carolina. The model is a sexy electric bass, which he has owned since 2017. It has an ebony fretboard, uses an 8-inch Remo banjo head, has a blade-style neck pickup, and a piezo-style bridge pickup. With a 3-way toggle switch, it's very familiar to many of you guitar players out there, so he is able to use both pickups simultaneously or individually. It has a volume and a tone, which work for both pickups. He uses Dunlop strap blocks like a lot of guitar players out there to make sure that live, the banjo does not go anywhere. I tried to convince him to do some tossing around of the banjo. Did not happen that night. Perhaps in the future, look out for it. It does come with an awesome custom coffin guitar case that is completely wooden. It looks very, very cool in person. He uses Sennheiser XS wireless system, which he currently adores. He's used some other companies in the past, which he did not have great results with. This one he's had for over 6 months and no problems whatsoever, so he highly recommends the Sennheiser XS wireless system. He plugs into an LR Baggs Venue DI along with two of the other members of the band and uses metal style picks, which he prefers versus the plastic on tour due to longevity and the more professional sound he believes he gets off of them. He then plugs into a LR Baggs system along with three of the other members of the band, and now we're going to continue on with the violin player, Mr. Eli Howells.
7 years.
And one more time, I'd like to thank Funk N Waffles for giving me the opportunity and the space for this. Up next in the interview, we had a pleasure of talking with Mr. Eli Howells. I want to personally thank Eli. He was the first one to introduce himself when I walked in and made me feel like part of the family right away. So very, very nice of him. The electric violin that he plays is made by Aurora, which is a Brazilian company. The store that he was introduced them through is called the Electric Violin Shop out of North Carolina. I must say, while playing the violin, he's an absolute amazing dancer, and one of the reasons why I think the electric violin suits him so well, he doesn't have to worry about the feedback that you would get out of an acoustic violin. He also does sweat quite a bit, so he would have problems touring with the acoustic violin, where the electric, he does not have to worry about that whatsoever. Longevity on tour for any musician is something we all have to think about, more so than just if it's the best sounding instrument or best looking instrument for what we personally believe, but something that we can use every night and make sure we can enjoy our craft and make sure everyone in the audience enjoys it also. This violin has allowed him to do it, and it sounds absolutely amazing, I must say. And with the matte black look, it looks super cool from a fan standpoint. He comes from a classical background. It did take him a little while to get used to it, but now that he's gotten used to it, he has no problems with it whatsoever. He doesn't need an expensive bow or anything like that, which is a true sign of a musician to me. Thank you once again, Eli, for all of the insight and all of the great jokes you shared along the way. He also plugs into an LR Baggs Venue acoustic DI. Up next, the bass player, Mr. Ben Noblet, and I must say, I was totally freaking out over this instrument as soon as I saw it, and it was a lot of the reason for why I wanted to be involved in this project and to take some photographs of them. And then as soon as I heard them, I was like, oh my gosh, this might be the coolest band ever. This bass is an Alcoa aluminum bass. There are around 500 of them made, and that was in 1931. That's right, folks. This thing is nearly 100 years old and still ticking. Made out of a complete aluminum. It has been with them in Ireland and back 5 different times now, and all over the United States of America. It has also been in his pond as a boat. It has also been set on fire, and as you can see, it is still 100% functioning after all that time and all that abuse on tour. It's one of the coolest instruments I've personally ever seen in person, nonetheless, even in photographs. It was a lot less weight than I expected it to be, and a little less than 40 pounds. And he said the main reason why he moved to it was he did use wooden bases, and they would be broken after every tour, and he would have to glue them apart, or glue them together because they were broken apart. The last thing he wanted to do when trying to relax on tour was sit there and glue his musical tool back together just to be able to get out on another tour. So this thing, which he has had since the entire band has been put together, has served many, many purposes and works as a great workhorse out on tour. Sounds fantastic, and personally I think it's one of the coolest instruments and most unique instruments that will make them known for many, many years to come. Ben is also one of the nicest people I've also met, has a fantastic beard, and is just overall a pleasure to hang out with. As you can see, he is able to swim on it and play also. He then plugs the bass with the pickup system into a Gensler Magellan 800, which is 800 watts and almost a little over 6 pounds. Absolutely monstrous sound on stage, and we want to thank him for taking all of his time that he did to speak to us about the bass and for us to get some amazing pictures of this thing. Now, we are about halfway through the interview, so if you want to stop and get a drink, maybe get something to eat, why don't you head on down to Funk N Waffles where you can get both of those. Ask for Sam. Mr. Alan Best seems to be the gentleman in the band who can just do anything that they throw at him. He plays 2 different mandolins, an accordion, and also the whistle on stage every night. The 2 mandolins he plays are Ace style and from a company called Eastman, one being a regular mandolin and one being an octave mandolin. Besides that, they are the same model, same color, and everything else is the same. One of them he plugs into a Boss 8010 acoustic processor, and the other one he plugs into a Zoom AC2 acoustic creator. The accordion that Alan plays is the Roland FR1X accordion, and you can also see him playing the whistle on the songs that demand it on stage. Alan also might have one of the best mullets I've ever seen in person. Rock it. also plays a unique instrument by a company called Close. Coolest thing, completely made out of carbon fiber. This thing is made for the rigors of the road and for an international band like the Tan and Sober Gentlemen. Her percussive style works great with it too because she doesn't have to worry about scratching it or damaging it due to her aggressive picking style. She does also use it as a drum from time to time, I see. So being made out of carbon fiber, this thing looks like it will last her for years and years to come. Cool thing about it, you can take the neck off, so when they go over to Ireland and other international shows like that, she does not have to worry about putting it in the unsafe hands of the flight attendants, and she can make sure that it gets there safely. This is a company that I will definitely be checking out because it sounds absolutely fantastic live and looks as cool as it sounds. She then plugs it into an LR Baggs acoustic DI. LR Baggs, I think maybe a sponsorship is due. Certainly not least, we got to talk to Jake Waits, the steamboat of this engine. The man that, as you can see in that clip, controls the chaos so amazingly and is able to coordinate it all in such a great, tremendous time and impeccable speed. Absolutely phenomenal. He is using also, imagine that, a complete unique kit, since this band is just full of uniqueness. It is called a Vox Telstar kit. It has an 18-inch bass drum, a 13-inch tom, a 16-inch floor tom, and a 14-inch snare. He's using a PDP bass drum pedal and a selection of A and K Zildjian custom cymbals. For hi-hats, he has a custom 14-inch set, a K custom 17-inch sweet crash, an A custom 20-inch ride, and an A custom crash, which, as you can see, does have a crack in it. So if anyone at Zildjian sees this and they want to hook up an international touring band, I'm sure Jake would not mind that. But as you can see, that shows their dedication and love for the music, that he is willingly to put blood on the dance floor to make sure you guys all have a good time. One of the best drummers I've ever seen live, and complete and utter joy to talk to all throughout the night, just like the entire band. to end the night. I think we can say that the Tan and Sober Gentlemen felt like they were at home here at Funk N Waffles in Syracuse, New York. I know I sure felt like I was a part of the family that night. All 6 members of the group are tremendous people, tremendous musicians. I got shots of all of them smiling that night. They all were gracious enough to spend at least 20 minutes one-on-one with me that night talking about their gear and just life in general. Super gracious of them. I wanted to say thank you to each and every one of them individually, and also thank you to Funk N Waffles, the new home for Aces Ax's Tone Zone. We're hoping to do one of these a week. Many fun things. We're all going to learn about gear together and make this music scene a bigger community, because that's what music should be: community, family, everyone leaving with full bellies, not parched, and smiles. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy.